What does the word whatever mean to you? When being usually ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those words that we lean on when we don't have a strong opinion or when we just don't feel like explaining ourselves. I guess, like any word, it kind of depends on what's behind it, whether you're dismissing
Being saying whatever it is.
something, mindful of how I'm across.
Have you ever felt apologize when whatever to you?
Of course, if you ever feel that totally makes sense, it's kind of like a catch-all phrase.
And whatever have, have different meanings.
Yeah, definitely. So it can be flexible. Sometimes it's just a casual, like, I don't care, do what you want. Other times it can mean I'm open to anything, or even just a way to avoid a conflict, like, whatever, I don't want to argue. So yeah, context is everything.
Do you use whatever often in conversation? What feelings and whatever express?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think it's like a placeholder, you know? It lets you just brush off a decision or signal that you don't have.
And whatever to happiness?
Can be a bit of a catch-all. So sometimes it's just a way to stay nonchalant. But it's kind of important to check how it lands because sometimes people really do just want a clear answer.
And whatever anger? Have you ever used whatever in an argument?
Yeah, I have actually. I remember a few times where I just threw it out there when I was frustrated, and it definitely didn't help the situation.
Why do people say whatever when they are upset?
I think when people are upset, sometimes they just hit a point where they don't feel like engaging anymore. So whatever shield. It's like saying, I don't have the energy to argue, so just do what you want.
Is whatever more common among the
Conversations, especially when emotions run high or people are still figuring out how to express themselves. It's like a shorthand for I'm done with this or I don't know how to deal with this right now.
and whatever and the conversation is
Yeah, it really can. If someone just
do things whatever sounds disrespectful.
Yeah, it really depends on the tone and context. If you say it calmly or neutrally, it might be a decision. But if it's said flippantly or with a come off as disrespectful. So it's all about how it's delivered and what's behind it.
Whatever. Have you heard a teacher say whatever?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. It's kind of a tough one because even though it feels casual, it can really shut down a conversation or make things feel distant. So, yeah, I've definitely been in that situation.
And whatever mean everything.
Responding to or what's going on in the
What
moment.
what is another word for whatever?
Ah, yeah. So whatever is considered a fill, it's what that just coats in conversations, filling space when we're not sure what to say. Doesn't.
Whatever different family member.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think with family, it can feel more casual or even kind of safe. Like sometimes we just say whatever when we're tired or not trying to escalate. But with family, a bit more weight, like it could be more dismissive or a sign of boredom.
Have you ever thought of saying whatever?
Especially when we just don't want to engage or when we're feeling dismissive. It's easy to fall back on, but yeah, it can close things down pretty quickly.
Can body changing change the meaning of whatever? How how can tone of voice affect whatever?
Yeah, definitely. The tone is a big deal. Even something simple like a flat or sharp delivery versus a light casual one can completely change whether it feels dismissive, indifferent, or just easygoing.
Could you use whatever in a job interview? Is whatever formal or informal?
Yeah, whatever is definitely informal. It's more of a casual everyday word, so it doesn't really fit in formal or professional settings. If you're for a polished tone, it's best to steer clear.
That approach, whatever someone feeling
Someone really close or just casually, it's probably fine. But when you're in a professional or formal situation, it's best to keep the language neutral.
do you think whatever can be funny? Have you heard whatever in movies?
Be mindful of house.
And whatever
Yeah, it can actually. If you say it with a calm, assured tone, like whatever I'm finding.
When should people avoid using whatever?
Avoid it when they really need to be clear or when the conversation is important, like in a serious discussion,
A workplace or a personal conflict. In those moments, it can feel dismissive or like you're not invested. So it's good to have a more intentional response.
Do children use whatever often? What happens when someone says whatever during a serious talk?
Yeah, it really depends. Usually, I might feel
Can whatever create misunderstanding?
absolutely. It can be really easy to misunderstand. Sometimes whatever sounds like indifference, but other times it's just someone not. So, yeah, context is key.
Do you think social media changed the use of whatever? Have you seen whatever in text message?
Yeah, I have. I mean, sometimes when I'm feeling really done with a conversation or just don't want to engage, it kind of slips out. But I do know that it can come off as rude, so I try to be conscious of that.
And whatever be used politically?
So if you're aiming to be respectful or formal, it's definitely better to avoid it or choose your words more carefully.
Why do some people dislike the word whatever?
yeah, I think a big reason is that it can feel dismissive or lazy.
Like the person isn't.
Have you ever ignored someone by saying whatever?
Yeah, I have actually. There were times when I was just too exhausted or didn't want to get into it, threw out or whatever. In hindsight, it was fair and it kind of shut things down. So I try to be more aware of that now.
And whatever means agreement? How do you feel when someone replies say whatever?
Yeah, it can feel kind of deflating, honestly. Like, it makes me feel like the other person isn't really invested or doesn't care about what we're talking about. So, yeah,
Can whatever end friendship? Is
create
whatever
distance if it's not balanced with more open communication.
is whatever stronger
Of
than
course.
saying okay?
Yeah, I think it can be. Okay, like a simple agreement, but whatever can sometimes carry a weight.
Can whatever make someone feel
Care about your thoughts or that you're not being heard, which is really tough looking for connection or clarity.
give me some detailed answer? on have you used whatever today? Give me more answer. What is the opinion of whatever?
Yeah, of course. So from my experience, I think people often
Why do can whatever sound lazy?
Yeah, I think it sounds lazy because it's kind of a throwaway word. Like it doesn't require much effort, so it can come off like you're not really trying.
or you're being dismissive. It's almost like a short
Why do some people use whatever too much?
pressure to commit. It's kind of an easy out. Like they don't have to explain themselves or take a side. So it's just a default easy response.
Can whatever be writing? What people say whatever often.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common among people who are feeling disengaged or maybe just trying to avoid
A deeper discussion. Sometimes teenagers or anyone who's feeling stressed or indifferent. But honestly, anyone can slip into it, especially if they're just not invested in the moment.
Have have you ever laughed after heard whatever?
And in a moment that was actually pretty tense. And then we both kind of laughed because the whole thing seemed silly. But yeah, it was kind of awkward.
Can you think whatever is a powerful word?
I don't think it's inherently powerful, but it can be depending on how it's.
What lesson can come learn about using whatever?
Be intentional with your words.
whatever can be convenient, but it's important to pause and think about how it might affect the other
Person, whether it's brushing them off, friends. So being mindful keeps communication stronger.